Hello friends. So let's start the demonstration on clavicle. This is the first bone which we study in anatomy classes in any medical college. Today I will be dealing about this bone and I will be dealing in subheadings as anatomical feature of this bone, type of the bone, how to determine the side, different attachments on the clavicle, both muscles, ligaments. Then I will be showing you the radiology related to this bone and some of the clinical points. So let's start the journey of clavicle. Here you can see the bone, clavicle. As you can see, it has two ends and intervening shaft. So two ends with shaft. So this is a long bone. But this long bone is different from other long bones as it is placed horizontally in the body. Rest of the long bone are placed vertically. So this is a different type of the long bone placed horizontally in the body. So you have seen that it has two ends and intervening shaft. Next you can see this end and this are different. This is the medial end, and the medial end, as you can see, it is cylindrical, while the lateral end, this end is lateral end, and the lateral end, as you can see, is flat. So by this you can recognize the medial and the lateral end. Medial end is also termed as sternal end because it is forming articulation with sternum, while the lateral end is also known as acromial end because it is forming joint with the acromial process of a scapula. Now you can observe that medial part of the clavicle is convex anteriorly, while the lateral end of the clavicle, this part, is concave anteriorly. So by these two features you can recognize the medial and the lateral and anterior and posterior side of the clavicle. Now you can see the superior aspect is almost flat without having any groove or sulcus or tubercle. So this is almost flattened. What about the inferior aspect? We will see in next picture. So here you can see that this is the medial end, this is the lateral end. Medial side it is convex anteriorly and lateral side concave anteriorly. Medial, lateral. Similarly here is medial, lateral, convex and concave. Now this view is superior view and this view is inferior view. So as you can see, superiorly there is no sulcus, groove or tuberosity present here, but inferiorly you can see this groove. So this groove which you can see in red here, this groove is subclavian groove, known as subclavian groove. So by this you can recognize inferior aspect of the clavicle. So by these two features you can recognize superior and inferior aspect. Now inferiorly there are some other features which has to be noted. So here you can see a tubercle, and from the tubercle one line is going. This is a ridge. So this tubercle is known as conoid tubercle. So this tubercle is known as conoid tubercle, and this ridge which you can see here is known as trapezoid ridge. Trapezoid ridge. So these two are important feature on the inferior aspect of the clavicle. One more important feature is here. You can see this rough area. So this roughened area present inferiorly on the medial side of the clavicle is for a ligament which is going to attach to first costal cartilage. This ligament is known as costoclavicular ligament. So this is for the costoclavicular ligament attachment. So these are some of the features of the inferior aspect. So now you can clearly recognize which is medial, lateral, anterior, posterior, superior and inferior. So I hope you can now determine the side of the clavicle. So let's determine the side of these clavicles. So superiorly you can see this will be the medial end, this will be lateral end. Anteriorly convex on the medial side, concave on the lateral side. Superior view, this is inferior view. So this is medial end, this is lateral. So this will be of right side. What about lower one? This is the medial, this is the lateral. Superior view, inferior view. Medially, anteriorly convex and anteriorly concave on lateral side. So these two bones will be of left side. So lower ones are left side bone and upper two are right sided bones. So I hope you can determine the side of the clavicle now. Okay. Now coming to the attachments on the clavicles. What are the structures which attaches to the clavicle? This is very important to remember and it is very easy to remember. Let's see this. So friends, you can see the clavicle of the right side from both superior and inferior aspect. So let's see the attachments. This is the sternal end. So it will form joint with the sternum known as sternoclavicular joint. Sternoclavicular joint. This is acromial end. So this end will form acromioclavicular joint. Acromioclavicular joint. So two joints you have seen. Now this medial aspect superiorly gives attachment to one ligament. Here is the attachment of one ligament which attaches it to the other side of the clavicle. This ligament known as interclavicular ligament. Interclavicular ligament. Now coming to other features, that some muscles are attached. So what are those muscles? So let's see. Medially, almost half of the medial part anterior side. This part gives attachment to one muscle known as pectoralis major. Pectoralis major. What about the lateral side on anterior aspect? So this part gives attachment to other muscle known as deltoid, and these deltoid fiber are anterior fiber of deltoid. Anterior fiber of deltoid. Deltoid had three fibers: anterior, acromial and posterior fiber. So anterior fiber of deltoid attaches here. What about the superior surface? So on the superior surface, on medial side is attachment of one muscle which is present in the neck. This is sternocleidomastoid. So sternocleidomastoid muscle attaches here. On the lateral side, on posterior border, the muscle which is attached here opposite to the deltoid here. This is trapezius. So these four important muscles which attaches on the clavicle is very important to remember. Now some of the special thing which you can remember from here. If I remove this, you can see in between pectoralis major and clavicle here the region forms one triangle. On medial side will be pectoralis major and on the lateral side will be deltoid. So here is formation of one triangle. This triangle is known as deltopectoral triangle. This triangle is very important anatomically, and the content of this triangle is cephalic vein. So let's see some of the other features. So inferiorly, what we can see is conoid tubercle here, trapezoid ridge here. Here is the rough area and the groove, prominent groove you can see. So on this prominent groove, the muscle which is attached here is subclavius. Subclavius muscle. Now on both side of subclavius, this lip and the lower lip, these two lips gives attachment to fascia known as clavipectoral fascia. Which covers the subclavius muscle. Now on the tubercle and the ridge. So the tubercle and the ridge gives attachment to coracoclavicular ligament. So it will have two parts, conoid part of coracoclavicular and trapezoid part of coracoclavicular ligament. So both are attaching here. Now the rough area here, which I have already mentioned previously, this is for attachment of one ligament which going to first costal cartilage. So this is known as the ligament which is attached here is known as costoclavicular ligament. So these are the ligaments and muscles which are attached on the clavicle. Four muscles: pectoralis major, sternocleidomastoid, deltoid and trapezius. The ligaments: interclavicular ligament, costoclavicular ligament, coracoclavicular ligament, fascia, clavipectoral fascia, and the muscle inferiorly is subclavius muscle. So these things you can remember easily. Now here we will revise the attachments. So it is very simple. Now you can see clearly, this is superior view, this is inferior view. So here will be which muscle? On this aspect, pectoralis major. Here which muscle? Deltoid. Which muscle here? Sternocleidomastoid. Here trapezius. This part subclavius. Now coming to the ligaments. What are the ligaments which we have studied? Here is the costoclavicular ligament. Here will be the Coracoclavicular ligament. If the acromion process is attached here, some ligaments will also be attached here. That is known as acromioclavicular ligament. Acromioclavicular ligament. And one ligament on this part medially, interclavicular ligament. So these are the attachment you should remember on the clavicle. Now, coming to some of the special points about the clavicle. So, clavicle is a long bone, but it is different from the long bone. First difference is it is placed horizontally. Second, it does not possess medullary cavity. Medullary cavity is absent. Now, most of the part ossifies from membrane. Most of the part. Except medial side. Except medial side, which ossifies in cartilage. So this is one special feature. Now the bone is subcutaneous, just below the platysma muscle. So subplatysmal or subcutaneous muscle, we can palpate the clavicle. Subcutaneous or subplatysmus, we can palpate this clavicle. One important thing is it is sometimes pierced by some cutaneous nerve, that is supraclavicular nerve. So intermediate supraclavicular nerve pierces this sometimes. So it is also known as dermal bone. Also known as dermal bone. Now, sixth feature is it is first bone to start ossification. First bone to start ossification. And last bone to complete its ossification. So a starting ossification will start with this bone and final completion of ossification will happen with this bone. So these are some of the special features about the clavicle. Now here you can see the clavicle along with other bone articulation. So this is scapula, this is humerus, clavicle. So you can see here clavicle is forming joint with acromial process, that is acromioclavicular joint. On the medial side will be the sternum. So clavicle will be forming joint with the sternum, that is sternoclavicular joint. And here will be first costal cartilage. So on first costal cartilage there will be ligament coming from the clavicle, that is costoclavicular ligament. Costoclavicular ligament. Okay, so these are some of the articulation. Now one ligament will be here from coracoid process to the clavicle. There will be ligament. So these ligaments will be coracoclavicular ligament. Coracoclavicular ligament. So this ligament is very important because it helps in weight transmission. Weight transmission. So this ligament should be remembered because it helps in transmission of weight from upper limb to axial skeleton. One more ligament will be here in between clavicle and acromion process, that is acromioclavicular ligament. Acromioclavicular ligament. So these are some of the ligaments and attachment which you should keep in mind. Now, ligaments you have already studied. Just see this picture, it will be more clear. So here you can see the clavicle, coracoid process of the scapula. This is acromial process of the scapula. You can see the ligament. So these two ligaments are conoid and trapezoid, part of coracoclavicular ligament. Okay, here you can see acromioclavicular ligament. So these two ligaments you can see here. Now, in this X-ray, you can see the clavicle along with adjoining bones. So this is the upper end of the humerus, glenoid head of the humerus going in glenoid fossa. This is the head of the humerus. This is glenoid fossa of the scapula. Here you can see coracoid process of the scapula. This is acromial process of the scapula, and this is clavicle. These are the ribs. So you can see that clavicle will articulate with acromion process here. Coracoid process is projecting just below the clavicle and acromial process. So this X-ray depicts how the clavicle is placed in relation to other bones. Okay. Now some of the clinical points related to clavicle. So clavicle is one of the most commonly fractured bone in any accident on the thoracic wall or shoulder. Clavicle fracture occurs just at the junction of medial 2/3 and lateral 1/3. At this point, because of the bend, because here is angulation, the most common site of the fracture is junction of medial 2/3 and lateral 1/3. Now, this fracture is generally not corrected surgically. It can be easily corrected by just 8-like bandage. 8-like bandage. In rare cases, it needs surgery. Now coming to the second point, that clavicle acts as a strut in between the axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton, so that our limb can move sideways without hindering our axis. So here you can see it helps in weight transfer also. From upper limb, weight will be transferred to humerus, and from humerus it will go to the scapula. From the coracoid process, the ligament is the coracoclavicular ligament. So weight will be transferred to clavicle, and from clavicle it will go to a sternum, that is the axial skeleton. So it helps in weight transfer also through the coracoclavicular ligament. So this ligament is very important in weight transfer. Now one clinical condition is cleidocranial dysostosis. This condition arises from inefficient membranous ossification. Since most of the part of the clavicle ossifies in membrane, in this case clavicle can be absent or less developed. In this picture you can see the child having ill-developed clavicle or absent clavicle, and in this condition some of the skull bones can also be absent or partially present, because most of the skull bone ossifies in membrane. So this is very important condition to remember, and it is developmentally present sometimes if membranous ossification is defective. Okay, so we have almost covered the entire aspect of the clavicle: site determination, muscle attachment, ligaments, related structure, radiology, and clinical points. Now you can refer to these books for more detailed aspect of the clavicle. Hope you have understood well. Please like and share the video if you liked it. I will be coming with more and more videos so that you can enjoy further. Thank you so much.